Laka Brothers Network, huh?
Yeah. I'll get it after this.
We say we're one in Jesus, but we still fight amongst Christians. But MBN, it's our mission to spread love and show you vision. And we cancel out division, and we hope that you listen, cause Mamlaka Brothers Network brings you love and joy and love and joy. We cancel out the noise, and we giving you a voice, gives you love and joy and love and joy. We cancel out the noise, and we giving you a voice, gives you love. Yeah, gives you love, brings you love, yeah. Mamlaka Brothers Network brings you love and joy. We cancel out the noise, and we giving you a voice, cause
my name is Veronique Lawson, affectionately called Lady V. On the behalf of Mamlaka Brokers Network, or how we affectionately call it MBN, we would like to say welcome and thank you for tuning in today. For all our viewers out there, all the way from Africa, Asia, America the North, America the South, Europe, and then even to the end of the earth. Today in our talk show, we call this talk show today Royal Etiquette, which is a Queen conversation, Queen talk show. And we have beautiful queens all around the globes. And I will actually now give them the floor to present themselves as they would like. The floor is yours. Thank you very much.
I'll start. All the way from the Bahamas. My name is Dr. Renee Johnson. I've been a cosmetologist. Recently moved away from that, but beauty is in the blood. I am a Kingdom citizen, and one of the things I admire about being a woman is being able to express myself through my looks, as well as being able to know my role as a woman. I have 2 children. They're all grown-ups. Well, I like to say I'm still 25. And for me, one of the most important things for me is not only the outer beauty, but the inner beauty. So for me, those 2 things go hand in hand. And so it's a pleasure to be able to discuss today some of the important things of royalty.
We can hear you, beautiful Queen Victoria. We can hear you.
My apologies. I keep talking without pressing the unmute button. I was just saying that very well said, beautiful Queen Renee. Very important to be beautiful on the inside as well as on the outside. My name is Victoria Esuba, and I was born in Africa, in Equatorial Guinea. But I grew up my whole life, most of it, in the Kingdom of Spain, and then in the Kingdom of the United Kingdom. And for me, I have worn many hats, from being a farmer to a project manager to an IT consultant. So I have developed an attitude of being able to shapeshift into whatever situation or whatever position that life has granted me to be in. And that to me, I think is important in terms of being a queen. You need to be able to adapt and to be resilient. Thank you very much.
Please unmute your microphone, beautiful Queen Anette.
Good afternoon. I am Anette Trujillo. I am from Denver, Colorado. I wear many hats as well, and I have been in education for 10 years. My husband and I have started our own charter school from K through 12. This is the first year that we have not done education due to the coronavirus. We decided that we were going to take a step back as they were taking everything remote. But my husband and I, we have totally been doing education for approximately 10 to 12 years. Love it. I love being out with our students. I am one of those people that love to be out, I would say, in the streets with people. I love real people. So I love to get to know people and teach them Queen etiquette as well. I am a grandmother of 8. I have 4 beautiful children, 4 sons, and my youngest is our daughter. She is the baby, and she's the only daughter. I have 3 beautiful daughter-in-laws, and we are very blessed with having a very big family. I started doing Queen status, is something that I do here in Denver, Colorado, where I am able to go and speak and teach women who are in less fortunate areas their worth and their value. And so I am honored to be here on this panel with all of you beautiful women. It is a blessing for me. So thank you for having me.
Wow. You see, all the viewers, you have heard from your own ear what these beautiful queens have in store. We could not just wait to hear from them. You actually are out for a treat. So I'm trusting that you fasten your seatbelt and you take out anything that you could take note with, whether your tablet, your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, anything, because I'm telling you, this conversation, royal etiquette, is the must, especially for you, beautiful queen, or for you who are girls who may not understand what we're talking about. You are going to discover actually right now. So let us dive into the royal etiquette queen conversation today. Royal, when we talk about royal etiquette, people may ask, what is royal etiquette? I was just listening to something and they say, you know, queens are not made, they are born. And that's a good quote. I don't know who said that. I don't know who came out with that one, but I could say that that is truly a good quote. Queens are not made, they are born. And so royal etiquette, royal, if I may, to define just these 2 terms for you, royal as an adjective is having the status of a king or a queen or a member of their family. A royal as noun is a member of a royal family. You see, therefore, you are not made, you born into something, you were born into royalty. And etiquette is what? Is the conduct or procedure required by good breeding or prescribed by authority to be observed in social or official life. So when we talk about royal etiquette, you have that inner treasure because you are born into royalty, and now you need to acquire the etiquette, the conduct, the procedure. You need to display it actually. So thus, now we're going to hear for our panelists, those 3 beautiful queens, and I'll give you the floor. Whoever wanted to start, please let us discuss. Speak to the viewer, and don't forget to subscribe, to click on that share button, share, share, share. Be that great evangelist of good news. Share, share, share. The floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Well, I started, so I guess I'll continue. And I like what you say. Yes, we are royal. We actually royal from birth because we were born into royalty. And in 1 Timothy 2 and 12, it tells us that we are a royal priesthood. And with that in mind, that means there are some things I can learn that creates for me an opportunity to display my royalty. And so it's not only the physical attributes, it's the internal attributes. And so for me, I worked around many pageants. I've worked with Miss Teen USA, came to Bahamas many years. I work with Miss Universe pageants. And I can tell you, the order of the day is poise and elegance. The order of the day is attitude. It's about being someone who is predominantly of good character, somebody who has values and worth. And so being royal is a topic for me that I remember because I have two daughters. I remind myself daily of whose I am. And so that's one of the most important things to do, is to always remind yourself whose you are. And when you know whose you are, you would start and you would begin to react. And you automatically have a different walk, you have a different talk, and you don't be caught up, you're not going to be caught up in profanity and things that will discredit you and just devalue you. So for me, royalty begins from the inner again to the outer, and being trained and being taught are things that you must constantly do. You must retool. You must always remember that because you're royalty, there's a particular status that you hold. And so we must always remember that.
Awesome. 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 I could take out of what you just shared, beautiful Queen Renee, about pause, elegance, attitude, profanity, and being royal means inner out beauty. I like that. And I'm pretty sure down this conversation, we're going to bring those words again, pause and elegance. So the floor is yours again for the next queen. Make sure that you unmute your microphone. The next queen to interact.
I'll go ahead and go. You know, I love what she just shared, and how we are to be keep our character in check. But one of the things that was brought to me, and it was actually something that I want to read to you first, and it is in 2 Corinthians 3:16, and it says, "But whenever someone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away." A veil like metaphorical veil that has kept the Jews from understanding the old covenant. This is what they're talking about. For the Lord is the Spirit, and wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. So all of us who have had the veil removed can see and reflect the glory of the Lord. And the Lord, who is the Spirit, makes us more and more like him as we are changed into his glorious image. I want to use this, and I hope you all can see it. It is a butterfly. And a butterfly is, and I love using object lessons. And the reason why is because it tends to, as an educator, we use them because we can remember so much about an object. But I chose the butterfly because there is, it's metamorphosis. Before the butterfly can become everything that it's called to become, it has to go into a cocoon stage. And before it can become something so beautiful, it has to die to oneself. And I believe as a queen, we got to sometimes die to ourselves so that we can become everything that God has created us to be. Now, a butterfly is so graceful. It is very graceful. It is beautiful. And it has such great character. And when a butterfly becomes the butterfly, it takes it's a 12-day process. And it reminded me of Queen Esther because she had to go through a 12-year process. So before this beautiful butterfly can emerge, there's certain things that need to take place. It has to find itself. It has to understand its purpose. It has to come to terms with understanding its beauty. And it has to understand exactly why it was created. Now, every one of you queens are out there and you have such beauty and you have such grace, and most importantly, you have a purpose that needs to be fulfilled. Sometimes we are caught in an area in our life that might seem dark and we don't know how to get out of that. The same thing happened with the butterfly. It has to go into a place of darkness for it to emerge. And a queen, we have to emerge. We got to come out and understand that as queens, it is our birthright. It is why we are created. We were created in the likeness of our King. And so we need to be graceful. We need to hold ourselves with not just beauty as a butterfly, but we got to hold ourselves in great character, understanding why we are here, loving people. The biggest thing is love, and sharing our beauty, the beauty that's within, just like the butterfly. It has to come to understanding who you are and why you were created and what your purpose is in life. And I just want to leave that with you, because I really believe that as us being royal queens, we first have to understand that inside every single one of us is something this beautiful, and we got to learn to emerge from it. We got to come out of our cocoon and be bold and be beautiful and ready to fly into everything that the King has offered us. So we got to bring it out to our community. We got to teach our community of young women, our community of wherever we are, are the most effective in our marketplace, the value, our value system as queens, so they can understand how to fly gracefully as well.
Yep.
Wow, such a vast information that is given out there for our viewer. We are truly blessed to have all these beautiful queens in our platform today, talk show, queen conversation, royal etiquette. For what you just shared, beautiful Queen Anette, I just kind of stop but put it down. The scripture you read in 2 Corinthians 3:15, which the veil is removed. So then when the veil is removed, actually now we as a queen, we understand who we are, and then we have to emerge. And I love that illustration with a butterfly, and how the butterfly goes through a phases, metamorphosis, and before it becomes that beautiful, colorful butterfly that we see out, and everybody wants just to take a picture with. And so it's really what we are. And then I'm so pleased to really have this conversation with you, because most of the time the queens are out there, but they don't even know that they are queen.
No,
they don't know that they are warrior. They don't know that they have a value. They don't know that they have that beauty from inside that could reflect out. They don't know. And so it is so impediment to have such a conversation, so that we could actually teach our young girls and all those that, to walk the walk and to talk the talk, and to do exactly and become. That's the key, becoming that queen that we were created to be, because we are born into it, but we need to become. That's it's a key. So I'm so glad and happy to have this conversation. And then now we would like to hear from beautiful Queen Victoria before we continue on the conduct and the manner and the procedure, which some of you already have touched already on it. So don't forget, you, our viewer, don't forget out there to share, and click that notification button. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm going to piggyback from what beautiful Queen Anette has said. You said something very, very profound, and which I really relate to it, because you're really touching who I truly am. You said that in order for the queen to emerge, the queen first, or the cocoon of the queen first, needs to go into a place of darkness, and then emerge from that place of darkness. Well, I'm gonna share a little bit of my testimony. As I was growing up, I never thought of me as being a beautiful woman, both on the inside and on the outside. I grew up with many insecurities. I was never in my home. God was not really present in my home. My father basically taught us lots of principles, but there was not that reassuring aspect of it, of letting your daughter know you have a purpose, you can accomplish everything you want in life. So I did not grow up with kind of a foundation, a godly foundation. So when I went out into the world, I realized that there was something missing. And I quickly picked up on the fact that it was not the outer beauty. I quickly picked up on the fact that the outer beauty is going to fade away, because I saw many of my peers that they were very much identifying themselves with the physical beauty, the outer beauty, and then when they realize that as with the stages of life, you begin to get married, you have children, your body metamorphoses into something different, not bad but different. And then you begin to realize that you cannot hold on to your physical aspect, but you need to have a solid foundation. And this is what I came to be in conflict with, because for many years I was not a believer. So there was this conflict between not having a foundation, and then also having to fight with the world, because I was always at war with the world. So that have been always in confusion until I finally understood who Jesus was, and he began to transform me. So you see, I came from the world, which to me was the darkness that you have been referring to. And as soon as I hit, well, I'm not going to say hit, but as soon as I encountered Jesus and through the Holy Spirit began to transform me, especially from the inside to the outside. So I began to understand that, yes, there's something more that I can offer to society that is not my physical beauty. There's something more that I can do that is not just, there's something much more to life than just me having to go through depression, through eating disorders, through many, many, many other things that I've been through. And I believe that we will really need to at some point discuss some of these topics, because I know for a fact that there are many women out there, young adults, teenagers, even older generation women that are still struggling with what society has imposed on us. And they don't realize that unless you have a solid foundation in Christ, it's going to be very difficult for you to navigate through life, very difficult. And I am a testament of that. So for that, I thank this platform for giving us the opportunity to share our testimonies, to share our ideas, and many more to come, and so that we can continue to help other ladies to emerge from that place of darkness into that beautiful, beautiful butterfly. Like you said, Queen Anette, that beautiful butterfly that we all are, just as God created us, because he wonderfully made us.
Wow. So much information, so much intakes that we're having on this panel today. I'm telling you, queens and queens to be out there, that you are out for a treat. You are in here for a treat. Those beautiful queens, they have a lot to share. And just as beautiful Queen Victoria just spoke now, she just shared from her experience. She just shared from what she had to go through to become the queen that she is today. So as we say, maybe you just join us just right now, but the title of our conversation today is this Queen Conversation Talk Show, Royal Etiquette. So we start by defining what is royal and what is etiquette. And we start by saying that queens are not made, but they are born. So once you know that you are born into something, then you are not to go into that place of metamorphosis that maybe some of you have just recently heard. Those of you who have not been from the beginning, you could just rewind rewind again when you can. When the show is over, you could just go and play it back. That's why I'm saying rewind. When the show is over, go and play it back again, and so you could capture every single word that had been spoken, because it's going to be helpful and very detrimental for you as a lady, as woman, as queen. You may say, okay, I'm already a queen. Yes, you could be already a queen, but there's always something that you could learn from somebody else. We as a human being, we could not pretend that we know all. So that is why we facilitate a platform like this, the conversation, so that we could actually together learn from each other and take a plus here, take a plus there, and add to the knowledge that we have. So this now caused me to welcome some of the viewers. I could see beautiful Queen Joss, who just joined us all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Hi. And then I see also beautiful Queen Gabriela all the way from the country of Cameroon. Hi. And all of you, please just tell us from where you are viewing us, and make sure that you share and share and share and share. And also don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button for the notification for next time that we are on there. You will be already aware of it. Now, this one caused me, as we talked about the manner or the conduct. Some of you, Queen, have touched already about the procedure. I think it's beautiful Queen Anette will says it about the 12 months of the procedure or the process with Queen Esther, and that you could find in the book of Esther chapter 2, verse 14. That will actually lead me into now cause the floor again to open the conversation with them by telling the viewer, okay, can you talk, for instance, about the way of a queen, how the queen walks, how the queen sits, or how she enters, and how she exits a room, how the queen dressed? I think beautiful Queen Renee talked about elegance and the pause. We're going to come on that one almost at the last part. The pause that the people need to have, the confidence that the queen needs to have. How a queen keep herself groomed, and what are the things that the queen needs to do? Because remember, even though you are born into royal family, just as a baby, when the baby is born, the baby do not know it's automatically to walk. So the baby has a baby step too. So the floor is yours. The speech also matters a lot. The manner also matters a lot. The floor is yours. You beautiful queen. Who want to go first? Unmute your microphone and go.
Okay. I like what Erica said earlier, Victoria said earlier about where you come from. I mean, I've had some similar experiences, but the difference was I was told to go to church because my mother had to work. I came from a single parent home. So I always knew that there was a God, but I never saw it in action. We were dressed. We were always clean. Our hair was done. I have 5 sisters from my mother. So I was the 6th, last child. And the reason I like what Victoria said is because you are not going to know everything from the womb. You're going to have to be taught. You're going to have to be trained. But one of the most important things is you have to be willing to learn. And so that is what it takes. So to be the royalty that you are, because you were born into royalty, you must be willing to change some habits. You must be willing to change some things about the way you do some stuff. For instance, there are some traditional things, and there are some nuances, and there are some new things, new trends that happen. It doesn't matter what trend is out. If you are focused, if you are level-headed, if your character is intact, and you're wearing a breastplate and a helmet of Christ, your conscience won't allow you to do and dress like everybody else. You are of the world, but you are in the world, but you're not of the world. The temptation to do and to be like others, it's always going to be present. But as a queen and the royalty you are, you must take a deep look and recognize that in the Constitution, the Bible, it gives us certain instructions. And like Victoria said again, you will not, and if you come from a background, so I'm going to pretend as if everybody listening has not had the opportunity to know what it is to be a royal subject in the kingdom. So the perspective that I'm going to bring it from is this. The information is out there. You must seek it. The Bible admonishes us to seek, knock, and ask.
Exactly.
So you have some obligations yourself. You must seek information. You must knock on the door and find out. And then you must ask. And so in asking, seeking, and knocking, you're going to find somebody. You're going to find a Victoria. You're going to find one of the panelists or somebody you know in your neighborhood who exemplifies the qualities and the things as a queen. And you don't have to be in the monarchy either. because we all came, I know I came from a very, very challenged background. There was not a father in the home, and my mother did what all she could. And so as I looked around, I had to anchor myself with Dr. Miles Monroe, or a mentor who was prepared to father me. There was somebody out there. There's somebody out there who's willing to take you to the next level. You must be a willing participant.
I truly like that one, beautiful Queen Renee. And I'm pretty sure Queen Anette will chime into it, and even she could actually leave her her link, because she said earlier, for those of you who just join us now, that she has actually, I think, like a school, if I may have not properly understood it, but she also have a ministry where she actually groomed the queens. They call queen statutes. So the link you could find actually under our church, and then you could actually follow her, or maybe ask her to mentor you if that is what you want. Just as Queen Renee said, that you need to seek it, you need to knock the door, and then you will find. Because yes, you are born into a royal family, but if you don't know who you are, then you will just die as a pauper. And that is what this platform here is, because we are trying or striving to build up your confidence, and by giving you all the information right there, so that you will be able to become that beautiful queen that the Creator created you to be. So who want to take the next step?
I will. I love that what the last queen just spoke about. It was powerful. And I love what Queen Victoria also spoke about. What I do with queen status is I take queen status into the less fortunate areas. So what we would call here in Colorado or in Denver would be hoods, right? I take them into those areas to transform and teach these young women that might not believe in themselves. And I believe that if we go into those areas that do not understand who they are, their value, because of a lack of a father. My husband does Crooks to Crowns, which teaches people that do not have a father still how important they are, and try to help them grow in that manner. But what we do is go into those unfortunate areas and take those people out. So I find that you can find the greatest gems, the most beautiful butterflies in those areas. We have that's where the most beautiful butterflies are, but we have to go out and we got to teach them. And I love what the last queen spoke about. She said that, yes, we do got to seek and we got to knock, but sometimes we got to go and personally introduce them into the kingdom, because they don't understand the kingdom. They don't understand any, that they are royal. So they settle. They keep on settling for everything that has been tradition in their life. And so in order for us to go in and transform these young women and these people that are in these areas of that are in great hardship, or that don't have proper etiquette because nobody's taught them, we have to go in personally and teach them those things. And so with queen status, what I do and I love to do is work with a lot of drug addicted people. There's some women that are hurt in their spirit. They've been damaged. They've been broken. And so what we do is we go back in there and we teach them their worth, their value, what their purpose is in life. And mentor them into becoming that queen. We have to get back in there and start teaching them how to emerge, how to come out of that hidden place of darkness, and how to become that beautiful butterfly that is waiting to emerge and come out of each and every one of us. I think that one of the things that I hear from all of you guys, and I love your transparency, Queen Victoria. You were so transparent with the life that you came from. And I love that, because those are the things that the world is waiting for. They're waiting to hear the story of Queen Victoria, the story of Queen Veronique, the story of Queen Erica, and to get out in there and to transform them. We got to bring hope into those areas. We got to get in there and let them know, just because you are in this area, just because you are, you know, what Queen Erica said, just because you are in the world doesn't mean you have to be in the world. You don't have to be of the world. And we got to go in and start transforming these young women to understand their worth and their value, how to truly love themselves, how a king is supposed to love them, and start bringing back those etiquette of understanding that modesty is key. You know, we don't have to be the you know, showing our bodies and you know, doing things that we might feel is going to get attention from others, but really truly finding their worth and their value of why they were created. And so these are things that I love teaching on. I love teaching them their worth and their value and exactly why they're called, you know, their purpose. 9 times out of 10, it's because it's a lack of a father in their home. And they don't understand their worth because of that. And so if we could go back in and start teaching these beautiful young queens how to emerge from a cocoon. I always laugh, and my family will laugh, because they always say, you'll find my mom in the craziest places. I will move from an area to go and find that one person that I feel needs to be brought out of her cocoon. And so I will go sit with the homeless. I will go sit with the less fortunate. And I love to hear their stories, because their stories are valuable. And then that's where we could come as queens and start teaching them their worth and their value, and start sharing the love of the kingdom, because that's what's going to help them emerge, is when they start feeling that there is a king out there who loves them, who created them for a purpose. That's when they're going to emerge from their cocoon. And so, ladies, I thank you for your transparency. I was a teen mother, and I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't know my worth. I'm in the process of writing a book called But God, because I had a but God moment. He took me out of situations and putting myself, I didn't love who Annette was. I didn't like who I was. And so I had to learn to find the worth and value that the king had for me. And I lived a life that was not of a queen at all. So, you know, I was, like I said, I was a teen mother. And when I met my husband, I came with a, you know, a baggage, or per se, of things that I had to fix inside myself. And I had to emerge out of a cocoon. And so if we as queens can get in there and teach these young women that might not have the value system, and teach them how important they are, how beautiful they are, and how loved they are, then they are going to transform into the butterfly that God created them to be. So I thank you, ladies. Once again, you are phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful. I mean, I'm just hearing a lot of knowledge, a lot of experiences and all that. And I'm pretty sure that all our guests out there, all our viewers out there, they are blessed to have this information. The reason why I'm saying that they are blessed, because many are such people out there who are trying to sell the information that we are actually giving you now for free. We are not asking you to pay anything to get this beautiful and awesome information that's coming from God. And these are the pure one, because we are here representing the kingdom of God. So some of the information, sometimes the people go out, they want to try to sell onto you and try for you to buy, and not necessarily even line up with the kingdom protocol or with the kingdom etiquette. Here you having a Mamlaka broadcast, a platform with Queen's conversation, talking about royal etiquette. Please do not hesitate to share and share and share, because there are someone out there who would need desperately this type of information. And you hear, yes, they are speaking from their experience. They are not just speaking things that maybe they have learned in the school or in the classroom, or read through a journal or read through a book. They have experienced it. And this is the beauty of it, because if you don't experience something, if you are not going through something, you could not change the other person, or you may not even give your great perspective to other people. I'm so blessed to really have this three queen on this platform today. And now that will cause me to want to hear the input of Queen Victoria before we move on the procedure and on the protocol. Because now we're still talking about the manner, we're still talking about the conduct, we're still talking about how queens need to walk, sit, enter and exit the room, the dress, the elegance. And I love what Queen Renee say, do not settle for the cheap, don't settle for the trend, because this is what is going on in the world. Okay, I need to just expose all my stuff. And no, remember that you are a queen. A queen, I know you'll be buying all those journals for queen this one, princess that one. Have you ever seen how they dress? Just have a look of it, and so that you could have the perception in your own mind. So the floor is yours, Queen Victoria.
Thank you, Queen Veronique. Okay, for me, I just need to point out something that both queens says. The first one, Queen Renee said that you need to seek the information, and that is very, very true. I mean, I will not be the lady that you see today had I not seek the information in order for me to transform. And it is an effort. Well, at least for me, it was an effort to change, but I did it. And Queen Anette, I beg your pardon. You said that you were speaking about in the houses, whenever you are teaching these ladies, nine times out of 10 in the houses of these ladies is because there is the lack of a father. So my question then will be, what happens when you do have a father that teaches your principles, like my father taught me principles, because my father was a philosopher. There was no God involved, but he was a philosopher. So in terms of principles, he taught me the principles. But my question is, how do you merge the principles that you receive from your father with your actual lifestyle? Because this is me. This is what happened to me. I remember once when I went to India, and back then I was very much into New Age, dressing very hippie. But at home, my dad always taught me a phrase that goes like this in Spanish: buen porte y buenos modales abren puertas principales, which in English means something like a good pose and a good demeanor will always open main doors for you. So I always had this ingrained in me. I always knew. So, and I saw it with my father, the way he carried himself, very regal, always very regal. So when I went to India, and back then I was doing yoga and all this, I was dressing very hipply, very carefree, you know, woo, freedom. And many people came to me and said to me, and especially this one lady, she came to me one day and she said, you know something? I said, no. She said, you are very regal. You carry yourself in a very regal manner. And I kind of like brush it off, like, me? Look at the way I'm dressing, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, carefree. So I didn't pay attention to it because obviously I was dealing with my other demons. So I never paid attention to it. So it took a great effort for me to merge what this lady said with what my father taught me, with what, when I met my mentor, taught me. I needed to merge the three, get rid of the old, get rid of the new wine in order, or let me say it the other way around, get rid of the old wine in order for the new to come in. So for me was that that's when I had to change, because my mannerisms were already there. I knew how to behave like a queen, because growing up in Spain, I have always been exposed to royalty, whether I like it or not, just by the mere fact of the king and queen of Spain, that they were all over the news and magazines 24/7, 365 days a year. So, and because after the succession from the dictatorship into the monarchy was heavily promoted. So it was always, this is what the king eats. This is how the king dresses, how the queen dresses. You will never see the queen. You will never see the queen in a bikini, for instance. Never. That's impossible. That is a no, 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 no. So these were very, I would say that they were kind of pointers that I was being given in order for me to reach to this point where I had to merge everything in order for the new me to come about. Because one thing is for you to feel regal, act regal, and another thing is for you to show that you are regal. And back then, I was not showing that I was regal. Both physical, on the physical aspect, the way I was dressing, and in my mind, I was not. Maybe I was coming from the kingdom of darkness in that sense, but not from the kingdom of heaven perspective. I had to merge, I had to remove many things, I had to clean many things in order for me to be able to bring about this woman that you see now, which many people, funny enough, when I was not a believer, people used to call me Queen Victoria. Funny enough, this I never shared with many people, but they used to call me Queen V. And it goes to show that, sometimes God will use something bad in order to bring something very, very, very good. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that sharing, beautiful Queen Victoria. And I'm pretty sure, just to add on that one, that people who were calling you already Queen V, they were actually appealing of that which was in you that you were not seeing. And sometimes, as you say, God, the creator, caused the people to point out the real you in you. So if you are a queen out there and you do not know that you are, you have to know from hearing or from listening to this talk show today that you are that queen and you are royalty. So as royalty, you need to carry yourself at toss. You need to have that dress with elegance. Don't show up your cleavage. You have to keep yourself groomed, your teeth, your hair, your face, your nail. Yes, you have to take care of all of that. You have to smell good. You have to have a very good odor in your mouth, in your body. And you have to style. Just as the queen, portray yourself as you would like people to address you. I think that's Dr. Monroe, our mentor, who says, portray yourself as you would like people to address you. So your speech matters a lot. And I'm pretty sure that's what Queen Renee covered about. And now, as you were talking, Queen Victoria, it reminds me that you actually released your first book last year, which I'm going to bring right now into the forefront. And I'm going to read something. I'm going to read something that's called Kingdom Living. And then it's called The Home Embassy. And then one of the chapters in your book, Queen Victoria, which I'm going to touch, is going to say it is all about presentation. And I would just say it is all about representation, because we are here to represent. So whose kingdom are you representing? When people look at you, are they see the kingdom of God, or are they see the kingdom of darkness? You may say, oh, maybe I don't have money or whatever, or I don't know. We are not talking about money here. There's one thing to have money, but without the knowledge, the money will not help you. So you may have the knowledge, or you may have the money, but you don't have the knowledge. Here we're talking about the knowledge. So once you get the knowledge, the Bible says, get knowledge, get understanding, and all about get wisdom, get the application of it. So let me just read something that you wrote here in it's about presentation. It said, I started early. An ambassador should never compromise the name of the king, nor by works, nor action, nor the way they present himself or herself to the world. So remember, you are a queen, you are an ambassador, and you are representing the kingdom, the heavenly kingdom of God, the greatest kingdom ever, the everlasting kingdom. Can you imagine presenting yourself as somebody who is not part of the kingdom? And this is something that I would like all these queens now to share with our viewer out there. And so Let us talk about the pause. Let us talk about that extra bit of grace and elegance in the way a person holds themselves that can take them from ordinary people into a captivating people. That be gentle, don't rush, be calm and humble. That when you enter a room, you size or you captivate the room. Can you please share that one? And you could also touch on the protocol if it's possible. The floor is yours. Unmute your microphone. And
okay. Yeah, you're very right. I'm going to give you an incident that happened to me, so that it will portray exactly what you were just mentioning in the book. I was already a believer, and I was on my way to the United States of America. And something told me, dress like the queen that you are, you know, and this was the very first time that I was going to dress in a very regal manner. And because I already got rid of all of my hippie, new agey clothes, and I decided to dress properly. So when I got to Miami International Airport, what happened to me was that as we were going through passport control, the room began to get full of people. So the police officer that was there controlling the crowd, he kind of like began to tell people, okay, you go to this aisle, you go to the other, and so forth. So when he got to me, the person that was before me went through, and the police stopped me and he said, just wait a second. Next thing I know, he said to me, okay, ma'am, please go to aisle 49. So as I was going to aisle 49, it just so happens to be the diplomatic aisle, you know. So I started to laugh on my, aloud as well. I started to laugh, and I was thinking, thank you, Father, because you just confirmed that this is the way that I need to be carrying myself. And not only that, I've noticed something else. Before, when I was traveling, because I've been a world traveler my whole life. And when I was traveling, I used to wear very comfortable clothes, and plus with my new age philosophy that I had back then, to me it was very, you know, I used to just wear whatever because I wanted to be comfortable. And I realized something. People were treating me like a third-class citizen. I thought that it was not only because I was dressing the way I was dressing, but because of my skin color. So I was kind of like very angry with the world. I'm saying, why are they treating me like this? And then Dr. Miles Monroe came through, and he said in one of the videos that I listened to him, he said, dress the way you want to be addressed. And that to me was it. I said, okay, I'm gonna try this theory, and that's exactly what I did when I went to the US. So that was my first part. Now my second part will be, I would like to share with you, Queens, if I may, a few points as to things that you should look for or to do in order for you to bring about even more that regality within you. The first one, obviously, is that you need to know, like both Queen Anette and Queen Renee said, you need to know who you are. Definitely. You need to know who you are in Christ Jesus, because that is what's going to give you the confidence to face any situation whatsoever. The second thing, and now we're going to go more into girly things, you need to make sure that whatever that you wear, whatever that you buy, is of very good quality, excellent quality. Please don't look into branding for the sake of branding, because sometimes branding is not the answer to your body, to the way the clothes fit with you. Sometimes it's not. So I'm not advocating for you to go and I'm not going to say brand names, designer names, but you know what I'm saying. Look for quality. There are many, many designers out there that they are not well known, but they are very good at what they're doing. So you can, you know, just always go to the shops or ask them to do something for you. And it's all about being excellent. It's nothing to do with branding. I need to repeat this. It's all about being elegant and bringing the royalty in you. Another thing that as a lady you need to see and you need to pay attention to is that a queen will never ever expose her body in a manner that is lustful, in a manner that is filthy, because you are representing your king. You are an ambassador, not only a queen, but you are also an ambassador. If you see the kings and queens nowadays, when they go abroad, they are ambassadors of the country. They are representing the country. So you need to carry yourself in a manner that glorifies your king, glorifies your country. So that when people see you, say, aha, okay, yes, she's the queen, she's representing heaven. She's representing heaven. Another thing that I want to bring into you is that you need to dress elegantly, but be modest. Yeah, you don't have to, obviously that depends on personalities, but it's best for you to dress modestly, but elegantly, because being elegant is not a matter of being rich, but it's a matter of confidence. I know who you are. And as long as you know that, your clothes and the way that you wear it will comfort for you. It will comfort for you. I'm a testament of that. It will comfort for you. Another thing is always dress nicely every single day, not just on Sundays when you go to church, okay? Because as an ambassador, and I have been studying ambassadors for a long time, as part of my job as well, so that I used to have. So an ambassador is representing a country. So you will never see an ambassador that is scruffy, that is like Queen Veronique said, that is smelly, that it has got poor hygiene. No. That is a no. You are representing, therefore you have to be impeccable. You have to dress nicely. You have to carry yourself in a manner that you exude so much confidence that people will say, who is she? Who is that woman? Okay. So I believe that I have touched most of the, and one more thing. Everything, absolutely everything that the king puts at your disposal, make sure that you take care of it. Make sure that you take care of your clothing, your jewelry, your dresses. Make sure that you take, and I'm talking about, like I said, girly things. I'm not discussing any other things, but overall, you have to take care of everything that God puts at your disposal. Because if you can be trusted with the little things, God will give you bigger and better things for you to manage. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I would like someone to open the mic and talk about the speech, because at the end of the day, royal etiquette has much to do with speech. What comes out of your mouth defies you. Our master teacher says it. So as royal etiquette, or as royal queen, or as a queen, what comes out of your mouth? Is it edifying people? Is it actually dress you as the queen that you are? Or is it actually put you at the same level of the people who are in this world? Or those ladies, I don't want to call the name, but you know what I'm talking about, because this is not a platform to call that type of name. We are the platform of queens, so there's certain name, because we are the queen, we don't pronounce. So, but if I give you the identification, you could find it in the book of Proverbs chapter 7. You could find it in the book of Proverbs chapter 9. Then you will actually know what I'm talking about, the type of the lady. So don't be that type. Speech also will show you something. Can someone touch about that one for our viewer who may have that question? Say, oh, but you have been talking about this one, but I'm not here. I could just sense the question that is coming up. Can somebody open that, please?
Okay, I will.
And then after that, we're gonna take a short, we're gonna take a short minute break, and then we'll be back after you touch on that one. We'll take a short minute break, and then we'll come back with the protocol. Is an important part of being royal. Go ahead, the floor is yours, Queen Renee.
Yes, I love the fact that, both of you, I had it documented, written down, dress how you want to be addressed. And that was something that Dr. Monroe always vehemently reminded us of. And when you're talking about speech, I remember back in the day, listen, I had a filthy mouth because I came from a home where that type of language was the order of the day because it was the only way they knew. They were reared and raised by making sure that you knew what they meant by using profanity, and that was the way we were disciplined. Okay, that was it. However, as I grew up, I recognized till one day a friend of mine said to me, we were out having a good time, and I was talking so fluidly, and she tapped me. She said, do you mind not using so much profanity? It was a shocker for me because it was something I did so often that it was a part of my life. And so for the viewer out there who find themselves in a position where your words are so colorful and expressive, but they're damning and damaging, there is a way out of that. And one of the things too, when you use a lot of profanity, what happens is you tend to create an rage from others. And one of the things the Bible admonishes us to say is that we must, kind words turn away wrath. Profanity is not kind. And so when we talk about speech, what I did as I grew up and I was doing the mentorship from others who I really valued, I decided to join Toastmasters. And in joining Toastmasters, it really helped me with my speech. It helped me with my deportment. Everything that I had learned through cosmetology, everything that I had learned through professional ethics, one of the topics that I had to do as a cosmetologist, everything I had learned in school as it relates to etiquette came full circle, because if you're walking and you're poised and you're all of that, notice people always say, she is a pretty girl, but she could be beautiful if she only stopped cussing. And so that was me. And then too, I had insecurities because I was very tiny. I had big teeth, and that's what I was told. And so I never thought I was pretty. I never thought I was the things that Victoria said too. I had those insecurities too. But as I immersed myself in the word and in mentorship, and again, seek information. And I decided, okay, I always had the smile. I was always told, you have a beautiful smile. So I use this as my tool. And so I always encourage people that to begin, you can just smile. Smile turns away wrath. I mean, just a kind word turns away wrath. And so for me, it's infectious, and smiles are infectious. So that's one of the most important things. And then we must create a balance too. In our speech, it's not always about the dotting the I and crossing the T's. It's the environment you find yourself in. And you have to learn to be one with the environment, but yet you must be different. Again, we're in the world, but we're not out of the world. And there's a certain culture that we all have in our different regions. For instance, I'm a Bahamian, so we speak sometimes almost like Ebonics, but we call that Bahamian lingo. And so I may speak and you may not understand me. So again, that is in the environment that I'm in. And then when I'm in church, I must speak to be understood, but the king's language. But when I'm in the world, I must be the king's representative. And so we have to, again, create a balance. Even when we're speaking, if I'm speaking with friends, I'm not going to speak, dot my I, cross my T's, because I want to be understood. And I want not to be outcast, but I'm not going to limit my actions. So what I do when I'm in different environments, I remain like a statue. I have to remain poised because I'm a queen. I must speak the king's language. And there are people, I note what Victoria said about our dress. Yes, but there are people who may not have those things. They may not have the money to buy certain things. And so you can find inexpensive stuff that could look expensive. You can find things that, I mean, I'm not even ashamed to say it. This particular outfit I have on, make sure go on the clearance rack. I call it Clarence. I go and see Clarence when I go in the store first, because Clarence may have something that I like and that's just been marked down. So also you must also decide that, okay, I may like to go in Macy's, but can I go in Macy's and go on a sale rack? Or I may find a designer who have some items that she may have sewn that may have been marked down. So again, we must become the thing that we want others to become. We must be that representative of the item or the things that we're speaking about. And that is what I tell my children all the time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think that her network is quite deranging, but the thing is that, as I said, we are going to make a short break here, and we'll be right back with you guys. And so when we come back on the break, after break, I would like Queen Victoria and Queen Anette to ponder again also on the speech before we move on to the protocol, which is an important part of being royal. So see you in about 60 seconds.